Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. This is Crisis on Infinite Earth. So I got the trade paperback right here. We're going to look at all these flags I've stuck in this thing. These are all things I want to show you. Whether we actually go to all of them or not, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking about it. This book took me a while to read. I got a request like 2 weeks ago. Let me show that up on the screen. Here we go. Over on BitChute from a fine person named Smokey. Yo, do a review of Crisis. Well, fortunately for Smokey, I had in fact bought this like 2 years ago. I think it was at the spring sale or something at Graham Cracker Comics. They do like a thing in like March or April or something where it's like buy one get one 50% off. So I bought like Crisis on Infinite Earths. I bought the Infinity Gauntlet, stuff like that. Great stuff. Well, here's Crisis. The cover's kind of spoilery. I mean, you can definitely see some of the losses that people suffer. You can see all kinds of crazy stuff. Guess what? Guess what? Unlike a lot of comic book covers, basically all this crazy stuff on the cover happens. It's absolutely fantastic. We start off with a lot of preface material, and it's kind of pretentious. And it's also really well put together. We get tons and tons of backstory. We learn all about Harbinger. We learn more about the Monitor. He assembles a team to go do crazy stuff. Look at this, Atlantean sorcerers. All kinds of absolutely crazy stuff happens. Because there's a threat. The threat is wiping out universes. One after another after another. One thing I should have flagged. It's right at the very beginning. It's Ultraman. The villain. Ultraman. The Superman from Earth 3. Crime Syndicate guy. He goes out like an absolute champ. No chance to survive, no way he can win, and he still fights to the bitter end. So even though he's a villain, he's still got that core like Superman concept. It was like a moment that made me go, dude. Now I gotta say, I don't know a lot about DC continuity, especially in the 70s. There's some stuff I do know, like Helena Wayne, the original Huntress. I still get mad when I see Huntress and she's just got this random, she's a mob boss's daughter backstory, and it's like, that really kind of takes something away. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As we go into this story, just all kinds of crazy things happen. Kamandi shows up. There are crazy battles at these big pieces of equipment that the Monitor, who is our like protagonist, has set up. You even get like Sergeant Rock and Easy Company out here to fight. You get Kamandi in another time period. All sorts of fun stuff. I don't even know which of these markers is like the first one I put in. Is it this one? It is this one. And this guy here, I picked this page because it has this text and his super distraught face. This dude is Pariah. We learn more about him as it goes on, but all you really need to know is he shows up whenever something bad is about to happen. And just look how overwrought his face is. Like, he gets it, man. He's seen thousands or millions or billions, who knows how many infinite Earths are. Like, he's seen them all die. One by one. He shows up, and he basically spends, like, the first half of the miniseries just kind of bemoaning his fate. Like, oh, why do I have to see this horrible thing? It's just what he does. There's Harbinger. She goes around. She collects heroes for the Monitor. There's the Monitor. He's the hero-ish kind of guy that sets all this stuff in motion. And kind of plays the Xanatos roulette. You know? If you don't know what that means, go lose like 50 hours on TV tropes and read the entire page, and you'll know what it means. We're going to go ahead and take that sticky off so I don't accidentally come back to this page. Let's see what the next page I got highlighted is. Like, I just want to show you lots of cool stuff. One thing in this series that's really amazing is George Perez. He just draws like hundreds and hundreds of people, sometime in single panels. It's a little overwhelming. This character here, man, when I first saw her here, it was just like, dude, harsh. And you rise to their defense, father. You are as weak as they are. No wonder mother left you. Ouch, lady. Ouch. Then she gets zapped by this light. This is one of the pieces of the Monitor and his plan. Then there's this dude who's from Earth 3. This is Lex Luthor, or was he Alexi, whatever. He's the Luthor, Alexander Luthor, that's it, from Earth 3. He's the one superhero. This is his son, and his son, when he was being saved, got crazy cosmic powers. You see those? We come to use those. That's the Harbinger character I mentioned. She's also named Lila when she doesn't have her powers going, and she gets manipulated by both sides, and then she's instrumental in saving everybody at the very end. And things are absolutely desperate. It's called Crisis on Infinite Earths, but really we spend a whole lot of this just dealing with Earth 1 and Earth 2 and them not dying. Really, there's a lot of Earth 1 in this. And there's some great character moments. Like, I don't want you to think this is just all like crazy super battles. There's a lot of crazy super battles. We'll look at some of that later, but there's a lot of great character moments here. Here's Wonder Woman going home and trying to reconcile with her mother. Hera helped me, but our feud continues, and even at the end of everything we hold sacred, daughter and mother cannot make peace. Like, we just get these great pieces all about these characters, their relationships with each other, who they are at their core, who they are deep inside. There's a moment late in the book where Superboy he's home free. He can just go. And then he chooses, because he knows that he has to go back and do something to save everybody before everybody loses. Like, he has to be there to make sure. Like, it's the ultimate heroism. He has nothing at the end of it. And he knows, like, he's going to go back. He expects that he's going to go back and just get killed. But if he can help out, he does. Supergirl, The Flash, they both have those very intense moments in this story where they do that. And I'm not just talking like one flash, I'm talking many flashes. Now, you want to see the villain? There's his awesome reveal. He says, call me the Monitor, but really everybody calls him the AntiMonitor because, well, he's a bad guy. So you got to stick anti in front of his name because he's from the antimatter universe. He's totally crazy looking. I don't know if I like this particular piece of art of him. He actually looks better drawn in some of the other places where he appears. But this is like the biggest, most dramatic page I could find of him, short of, I think he's on one of the covers. Like, I think if I flipped over the page and showed you the very next page, you would totally see him. Which one's the next sticky? Are you the next one? You're the next one. All right. Now, I've mentioned, like, there are big super battles before, but one thing, if you've ever heard me talk positively about Marvel cosmic stuff, you'll know I really like seeing crazy space-looking things. There's tons of crazy space-looking things all throughout this book. Just stop. Don't bother reading any of the text panels. They don't matter. Just look at this. Also, that's Harbinger right there. Just look at this. She is standing in the middle of all this crazy, absolutely crazy, monstrous, inhuman, evil power and doing her thing to save the world. Everybody is doing their thing to save the world. Even villains get in on this fun because AntiMonitor, right from the beginning, he's not just recruit. I said AntiMonitor. Even the Monitor, right at the beginning, is recruiting not just heroes but villains. You know, he grabs like Simon and stuff. Because you got to get it. This threat is too big. Let's see. What is this sticky here for? Oh, this was some funny dialogue. I've mentioned that there's great character moments. This is one I really liked. So this lady, I don't remember what her name is. I don't think it really matters. But she's like the sole survivor of not just her world, but her universe. And she's like, you don't understand. Blah, 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 blah. The blah, blahs don't matter. But you don't know what it's like being the sole survivor of my world. She's saying that to not one, but two Supermen. Like, these two dudes are both the last son of Krypton. I think they understand. I think they're right there with you. So, as Clark says, I think we'd better talk. There's just lots of great assemblages of characters all through this book. It's absolutely fantastic. The art by George Perez is gorgeous. Even when he's drawn like a ton of characters, and you know, sometimes they're kind of drawn in the distance, so they don't get like all the detail maybe that they're due. but you get these great panorama shots of just awesome stuff. Look here, they're all flying in. They all have purpose. No pose is really duplicated. They're all flying in similar poses. You know, the classic arms out in front. But it's different. She's doing like a swan dive. He's got this with his cool cape. His cape is doing something different. He's actually like he's like ready to go. He's ready to throw a punch as he's flying. Everybody is in a slightly different position, and it tells you a little something about their characters. Like the Martian Manhunter, completely invulnerable. His hands are not in front of his head. Old man Superman, he is tired of dealing with evil. He just wants to go clobbered in the face. You learn so much about the characters just from little things like that. There's nothing here that's careless. It's all careful. It's all planned. And it all looks good. Even in the distance. Even when things are busy. Even when we have a crazy fight on our hands. Like you can see here, they're like having to fight these big stone guardian things. There's all sorts of great stuff going on. Either there's awesome movement, there's great emotion on faces, there's cool just stuff happening here. There's enough detail to make you go, dude, that looks good. You get this great ink work in here, darkening places in. It's absolutely fantastic. It's I don't want to say it's a masterpiece, because that sounds kind of pretentious when you do that, but it's frankly an artistic masterpiece. Everything about it just looks good. Everything about it reads good. All right. And there are lots and lots of crazy battles in this thing. Particularly, there's some... As we go on and they have these bigger, more desperate battles, there's lots of cool stuff. But I really like the panel layouts in this one. I'm not even sure how to read this page. So you have these panels, 1, 2, 3, on top. And I guess you start here and you just keep reading like this, and then you read across and you got to go here, and then you can go like that, I think is how you have to read this. But I'm not sure, because we got this text bubble popping out over here. So it's confusing. And for once, this is going to sound hypocritical, because I will go through and I will absolutely make fun of like Something is Killing the Children or other modern books that try to do these things. They don't do them as well. This is really conveying like the chaos of a battle on the page. And even with not knowing for sure if I'm supposed to read this bubble, then that one, or this one and then that one, I found it didn't really matter. The events are happening in two different places at the same time. So the exact order you read the panels in doesn't matter that much. It's not like I'm doing a fight scene where I have people that are here and here in the same location and it's being chaotic. This stuff is all happening over here. And this stuff is all happening over here. And they're separated by hundreds, thousands of feet. Like they are not connected to the same thing. They're not the same event. They just happen to be taking place at approximately the same time. So the actual order you read that in, it doesn't matter that much. And it helps make the page, makes the fight, makes all of that feel just that little bit more chaotic. Now, naturally, things don't go so well for the heroes. And you get people, even villains, getting to express themselves really well. Look at that panel there for Psycho Pirate. That is a potent, powerful looking panel here. He's like flexing, busting out powers, and guess what? Guess what? We get to see just how tough the Flash is. This dude, just a few pages ago, was like emotionally manipulating masses, absolute masses of people. And here, he can't even get the Flash. He can't even do that. That's the kind of character, that's the kind of hero the Flash is he's got that iron will. And he gets to demonstrate it later in this issue. I just wanted to flip over here because I have no idea who this character is, but he's kind of amazing, and it looks great. And also there's the stuff they started doing at the bottom of the pages in this one issue that was great. So I have no idea, like, really who that dude is, but he looks cool, man. I think his name's like Chemo or something. He's just awesome. But here at the bottom of this issue, on each page, they do this. And they tell these little tiny vignettes where there's a little narration bit, a little commentary from Harbinger. And then there's a whole lot of cool looking, like just, black and white inked in pencil art. It looks great. It looks absolutely great. So I'm trying not to talk too much about like the particulars of the plot, but if you want to get those, like the basic idea is Batman sees the Flash, and then the Flash vanishes, and that starts off like the worries. Then weird things happen. People start getting kidnapped by Harbinger. They come to see the Monitor. The Monitor tells them, his plan. They got to go defend these machines. So he sends people out into different time periods to defend the machines. Then things start going bad. It's like if you've seen any like relatively modern kind of serialized writing, like if you watch Breaking Bad or basically any television from the last 20 years, you know that something starts here, and then someone does something, and it makes everything worse. And then something happens and it makes things worse. And that keeps going until you get to like the season finale, the big plot point where things start to get resolved. The writing here is like that. So we get to the machines, the heroes are successfully defending the machines, and then stuff happens on top of that, right after that. And we spiral out from there to where we're invading multiple universes. I mentioned before the Monitor was assembling villains and stuff. You can see like Brainiac's ship right here on the cover. Naturally, villains are who they are. So in the midst of all the chaos, the villains try to take advantage of it. That's not really a spoiler. I'm sure you would have guessed that. It happens. I'm not going to tell you how it happens, why it happens, when it happens. I'm also not going to tell you how many times it happens. Because for all you know, it could be never. Ooh, wouldn't that be provocative? No. So I'm kind of giving like some brief stroke outlines here. I'm not going to go off into the ending, how they like assemble the forces needed to stop the Anti-Monitor, but it's all great stuff. It looks great. Space stuff looks spacey. Magic stuff looks magic. Hero stuff looks hero. George Perez's art is absolutely solid, if not stellar, throughout the entire thing. I don't know how. You know what? I got to go find. I should have put a mark in here for one of those pages where George Perez just goes and draws like 7,000 people in a single room. Because he does it. He does it multiple times. And I'm trying to find like a really good example of that. Nah, that's not good enough. That one would have been okay, but it's not good enough. I should have just done the one right at the beginning of the book when he does that. Because now we're... Well, that's kind of a cover, but, like... Stuff like that. It happens in the book that they assemble that many people in a single place. You know what? This actually probably is a good one. Good example right here. This is interior art, not a cover. And you can see, like, I don't know how many characters that is. That's a lot of dudes, man. From Solomon Grundy on up to ever crazier and crazier things. I don't think the camera focused too well on that, so you can't see how glorious it is. But trust me, it's glorious. Crisis on Infinite Earths, absolutely fantastic. Do recommend. It's probably super expensive to collect. If you buy the single issues, it's probably hundreds of bucks an issue. But I got this trade for $29, or maybe it was like $20 or something after a discount or whatever. If you can pick it up for like that kind of price, you're gonna get a lot of value out of it. Like a movie ticket is like $10. So you get $10 for 2 hours. This took me like 7 hours to read for $30. So I think this is on par with purchasing a movie. At least from that cost, analysis. Now if you buy like popcorn at the movie or a soda, that kind of skews the equation. That skews it a lot. I don't know why I'm whispering. So I'm going to shut up now. You all take care of yourselves. You have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Check out Crisis on Infinite Earths if you have not read it. I feel like I skimmed it. And I certainly read the chapter that focuses on the Flash, because I did a one-issue review of that when it was reprinted. But definitely check this out. It is great, great stuff. You all take care of yourselves. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.